I am ashamed to say that I am a real estate investor and I didn't know how to properly read amortization schedules. So this has been very eye-opening for me. And so, I need to relook at everything got going on. One thing I wanted to ask you was when you're looking at that table, is that a static table or is that a dynamic table? So what I mean by that is that once you get rid of a line, don't they rerun the table?
Yes, sir. That's exactly correct. This is why we have a dynamic program. This is where our AI comes in, our artificially intelligent cloud based computing system that keeps track of all the amortization schedules that you have. So, do you have multiple doors, multiple units, multiple houses? What do you have?
Yeah, I've got two 4 units, one 5 unit, and one condo,
Yeah,
and another single family that's going to be on board here soon.
there you go. So what we would do is we put all of that into the program. The program reads everything and says, based on the amount of money that you have available at any given time, we're going to ask you to put some of those funds in savings. Once the number gets to a certain point for you, then the program is going to direct you, just like financial GPS. Take this amount of money out of savings to the penny and apply it to loan number three. Let's say loan number three, because we're going to show you exactly how much interest you're going to save per dollar with that amount of money. Now, if by putting it on loan number three, you could save $6 or $7 in interest for every dollar you apply to principal, wouldn't that be good to know?
Yeah, I mean, that would be fantastic. That's very important information.
Okay. And then once we do that, that amortization schedule has now been destroyed. The program automatically uses the same math as your bank, reconfigures itself, and now you have a brand new amortization schedule within the program itself. And the next time we attack a loan, it's all set, it's ready to go, it's automatic. You don't have to think about it, just like you don't have to think about the GPS in your car. All of this is done for you behind the scenes, ready to go, helping you to eliminate all of your debt or put you in a position to cash out refi years sooner at a much lower interest cost. Back to you, Yasser. What's up?
Yeah, that's fantastic. And again, it's beautiful when people who study the system can explain the system in a simple way. That's really what's needed. So I appreciate it again. So your program, let me ask a question about the program. So
Sure.
now, does it take all of the loans and keep them as the separate loans, or does it aggregate them into one big loan, or does that even matter?
It does matter. Yes, sir. First of all, before I answer that question, because it'll seem like you're throwing up softball questions to me, tell everybody that we've never met and that I didn't pay you to ask these questions.
No, not at all. I mean, I'm just going through my mental checklist of the properties I own.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to actually push you a little bit so that I can gain more trust and the integrity that you're throwing out.
Yes, I get it.
That's part of what's going on too.
Okay.
But yeah, no, we've never met. I'm trying to understand the system. So I
Well,
appreciate your attention.
well, listen, man, this is quite all right. But do you hear what he's saying, folks? Because there's a lot of stuff going on here on the internet and especially on this app. And when people say certain things, they need to be able to answer your questions on the fly, not, let me look it up. Let me watch a YouTube video so I can take that information and regurgitate it back to you and pretend it's my own. Yes, sir. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's part of it. But it's just, it's also part of the relationship development.
Yes.
That's how I get to know you and you get to know me.
Exactly, folks. Listen, take a page out of Yasser's book. That's what we're talking about here. So I'm going to explain to you what I'm doing so that everybody else can see. And when you go to the replay on YouTube or Facebook or something, you'll be able to see the exact example that you talked to us about. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
All right. This is our demo account. I've got our demo account on the screen and I'm changing it, Yasser, to multiple properties. And in this one has 10 mortgages in it. Okay. And we keep them separate. Okay. And the reason why we keep them separate is because they all have different loan amounts. They could even have different terms. They all have different interest rates. which means they all have different interest costs. And when we're attacking a loan, we're not trying to pay it off fast. We're trying to pay it off cheap. What do I mean by that? If all of your loans on all of your properties were 0% interest, would there be any financial benefit to pay any of those loans off early?
If they were 0% interest, no. You're just worrying about you're just trying to get the best deal that you can.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
Exactly. So what we're doing by when we're paying back a loan, we have to look at what we're really trying to manipulate. We're manipulating the interest cost. We're trying to make sure we can save money. That's why we pay off a loan. That's what we should be focusing on. What is the interest cost on this loan? So I have 10 mortgages in here plus a HELOC, which means it's actually 11 mortgages. All right, because the HELOC is a second on one of the mortgages here. So we have 10 mortgages here, and then we're starting the program in the month of December. And when you see these little arrows here that I'm circling, when you watch the playback, you'll be able to see that we're putting money in savings. This particular one on 12-1 says, take money out of your checking account, put it in the savings account, $334.35. But we're paying the minimum payment on all of the mortgages, even the HELOC, which is $88.33. Now, the rent that's coming in is $15,000 a month, 15 grand a month, right? And so they're doing that and looking at this. And then we get down into January. Then the program says, well, we're going to put a bit more money in savings. We're going to put about $7,000 or $8,000 in savings in the month of January. And then it gets down here into February. Now the program is going to direct you to do something else. First of all, we're going to pay off the HELOC. We're going to pay that down to zero, which is at this point on February 1st, $3,399.23. We pay that off. And when we do that, the program will then calculate how much interest we're saving by paying off loans. Okay. So we're going to pay off the HELOC of $3,399.23. When we do that, the rest of the money, the program says we're going to put the money on mortgage number 9, $6,072.44. Don't round it up. Why are we not rounding this up? Because we are putting on the loan the optimum amount of money that gives us the most interest savings per dollar applied. Any more money, then we start to violate the law of diminished return, meaning more put here actually gives us a worse cost benefit ratio. So I'm actually saving less per dollar if I put on any more money at this point.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.